These are ballpoint pen drawings, like a regular Bic ballpoint pen. Um, this first one is a sketch that's about 11 by 14 inches on plain paper for a cover I did for a magazine called Wigwag. Jack relaxing with his lawnmower. This is the Jack Survives book that I'd already printed or had YouTubed from the scans, but I photographed these just recently, and instead of using the scan version, I'm using this. These are 15 by 20 inches on Arches paper. And they were done around 1980, 81, 82, somewhere around there, when I was just getting started with ballpoint. These are all Jack invents, not the whole batch, but most of them are, from the Complete Jack Survives book. 15 by 20 again. As I say, they're all that size. Black ballpoint pen, medium point. There are other different ballpoint pens I used as well. There was a thing called Illustrator's ballpoint, which had even a broad point. I don't know if they still make them, but Bic is primarily the one I use, a regular, everyday ballpoint pen. Jack watching the cellar fill up with coal. We didn't have coal, we had gas, but hot air. Yeah, I guess a gas furnace, yeah. Back in that time, in that house in the 40s and 50s. Jack having a problem getting the light bulb in. As the coffee pot percolator boils over at the same moment. Thank God I don't have to watch the coffee pot anymore. Mr. Coffee does it for you. I think the grays are more subtle, or maybe I'm even printing them lighter, or because I had that choice without using the scanner and using my camera. I've gotten pretty good at taking pictures of my work, which kind of surprises me. I didn't think I could be a good photographer, though I love taking pictures, I gotta say, with my Canon. We all have a drawer like that, don't we? Oh, I know I do. I don't know about you guys, but sometimes it's so full you have to pull it and boom, everything comes out. This one wasn't in the Complete Jack Survives book, so I wish it was. I should have included it, but here it is, and it's the effects of being gassed by a sweeper right in his face. This one also wasn't in that one, in the Complete. It's the mysterious Jack looking for his coffee cup or finding a coffee cup, and skyline of New York in the background. I got this grant and I went to live in the country for a while, about an hour away from New York, but I kept my studio and lived here mostly, but I had that place in the country, so a lot of skylines because I was seeing it that way. The tragedy of spilled coffee on the stairs. Life goes on, so Jack walks past that event. This is really earlier when Jack was called Middleman, and I was in the country at that point near Middletown, New York, so he was Middleman. And his daughter's running up a ramp. It's completely invented. I was in that surrealist stage of my work, and it was before Jack Survives started, but I was on the verge of it. This was prominent in the complete Jack Survives. And it's around the same period as you see the style is similar. In fact, it's the same little girl. I think she grew up to be Sally. So Sally's father is Jack, like my sister Pat's father was my dad, was Jack. So Sally's based on that. This one wasn't printed, I don't think. I know it wasn't in the complete Jack Survives, but I think it's okay. It's not as nice as I think the pencil drawing and the painting are better. But I'm not displeased with this. Now here's other than Jack stuff. It was might even been a proposal for a poster. I don't know. Whereas Mom sweeping the cellar, and cellar is an artist, or it could be me. And the surprise down there is there's a real Spitfire parked as the painting is being made of the, not Spitfire, flying tigers, P-40 Warhawk, yes, or British called it Tomahawk in World War II. This is the sketch for the painting that became the cover that the book never existed, but I will do a YouTube thing on it called Visual Crimes. It was a series of crime stories I wrote just for the chance of getting illustrations off of them. This was a really early series, maybe 1977, 78. I call it The Office Indian. Indian confronts the executive of a fast food service that specialized in buffalo burgers. And the executive just turns, and as he's shooting buffalo out the window with his little handgun, and shoots the Indian. And the secretary jumps up like a sympathetic figure. I use the ballpoint pen mostly because I really don't like pen and ink. And I wanted to have something graphic like pen and ink is, but I don't like the wetness of it for some reason. It always just didn't like it. So I had to find a counterpart to it, and I think I did with a ballpoint pen. But I also got gray, you know. Here I got my cellist, one of my cellists from the cellist sketches in a picture. Again, this was my surrealist phase, also around the same period as the Indian, 1977, 78. And these are the visual crimes. A preliminary sketch before I did a pencil drawing, before I did an acrylic painting in gray. But it's more than a sketch. I do it as a complete thing. And you have to scrape it. This is 16 by 20, I think. Yeah, 16 by 20. No, maybe, or 15 by 20. I'm sorry, it's 15 by 20. Or 14 by 20, because it's long and narrow. It's not like the same proportions. Anyway, I use a razor blade to scrape down the things that had to be redone. This is on Arches. This is a good paper, as except for the first one, they're all on the Arches paper. And then I would do a pencil drawing after this. It would be that would be 16 by 24. That's where I'm getting confused. I think this is probably 15 by 22. Yeah. This one I think I talked up at one point. Again, these stories are really awful. I mean, I wrote them, but they would be completely seen in that white box. So they weren't more than 250 words long. But they were good for, finding dramatic images. And based on the men's adventure illustrations of the 50s, this would fit into one of those magazines almost. Except they copy photographs and really were tight, and I do everything from my head, and it looks it.